is a gray parrot? Gray parrots, commonly referred to as African greys, are indigenous to rainforests of Central Africa, ranging in a band through the continent from Côte d'Ivoire to western Kenya. The biggest parrot in Africa, this species adorns silver feathers, a white mask, and a bright, shiny, reddish tail. Males and females seem almost similar in appearance. Gray color parrot may have colorless stunning than other parrots, but African greys are bright in other ways, such as gray parrot are among the smartest birds in the world. They are the greatest imitator of human speech among the 350 or so known parrot species. Research revealed that the African gray bird has cognitive skills equivalent to that of a 5-year-old child. This species will also help members of their species, in fact, strangers, without expecting their kindness to be reciprocated. Common names: African gray parrot, Congo gray parrot, Congo African gray parrot with a scientific name called Psittacus eriphicus. Adult gray parrot size, measuring around 13 inches, weighing just below 1 pound. Life expectancy of gray parrot, on average, 40 to 60 years in captivity. Behavior of African gray parrot. African greys are tremendously social species, flying across the sky in noisy groups and roosting in huge flocks in the middle of the treetops each evening. They feed in smaller groups of around 30, eating foods like oil palm nuts and the berries of the kola plant, clutching them in their claws and ripping them open with their powerful beak. The birds will also oftentimes raid human crops, like maize. Gray color parrot species have been pets for about thousands of years. There are chronicles of these birds as household pets during biblical times. It has a captivating capacity to reason and an unnatural talent for appropriately imitating words and phrases. Surprisingly, African gray birds can also understand human speech, which has enabled them to slingshot this bird to stardom in the pet trade. A well-trained African gray color parrot can learn hundreds of phrases and sounds. Mating of African gray parrot. The married parrots that mate for life start searching for mates between 3 and 5 years of age. A pair will find pre-existing tree cavities in which to create a nest, lay a clasp of about 3 to 4 eggs, which are hatched by the female. Gray parrot parents are attentive, constructing well-built nests and nourishing their chicks together. African gray colors and markings. True to its name, African greys usually sport gray feathers, some with a bewitching, thin, pale edging. Species of African gray. There are 2 subspecies, Congo African gray and Timna greys. 1 Congos. This bird species is about a third larger than Timnas. Congo African greys sport shiny black beak and bright red tail feathers. 2 Timnas. Greys possess deep maroon tail feathers and horn-colored mandibles. Care and feeding for an African gray parrot. There's a reason why the African gray bird is often regarded as the poster bird for parrot wisdom. Not only is this bird predisposed to gather up a huge vocabulary, but also illustrate an aptitude for perceiving the meaning of words and phrases. African greys require a lot of toys that challenge their wisdom, such as puzzle and foraging toys. Nutriberries are ideal for foraging. This complete food amalgamates a balance of grains, proteins, nutrients, seeds, and other minerals in the shape of a berry. Given the fact that seeds and grains are mostly whole and formed into a berry shape, it motivates African greys to hold, nibble, and even have fun with the nutriberries. This imitates the foraging that African greys do in the wild. African greys appear to be particularly affected by stress and chaos in their atmosphere and can be put at ease by placing one corner of the cage against a wall as opposed to in the center of a room. African gray parrots are more inclined towards deficiency in vitamin A, beta-carotene, and thus benefit from consuming vegetables high in beta-carotene, such as fresh kale, carrot, and cooked sweet potato. Deficiency of vitamin D is another issue, particularly for greys on a poor diet. Providing a balanced, pelletized diet, such as nutriberries, as the main diet component of an African gray enables averting off deficiencies of vitamin and mineral. A gray that eats a pellet diet usually does not necessitate vitamin supplements added to the food. How to keep African gray bird happy. A medium to large size parrot. African gray bird requires sufficient living space. Minimum cage size must have a 2 foot by 2 foot footprint and 3 feet in height. Larger cages are more favorable though. In absence of adequate training and interaction, a gray bird may become discontent and demonstrate self-mutilating behaviors, such as feather plucking. Thus, The owner must ensure to provide a pleasing environment to a gray parrot. This species prospers when they get ample opportunities for playing with toys, communicating with their owners, and learning phrases and tricks. Expect to spend some quality hours each day training and talking with your African gray. Many owners also report that gray parrot enjoys watching television or listening radio when they are left alone. African grays are known to be a bit sensitive and easily affected by stress and ruckus. They may feel calmer and composed if the cage is placed in a quiet corner rather than in the middle of the room.
What to feed your African gray bird? Nutrition of African gray parrot in the wild. African grays eat flowers, fruits, vegetables, leaves, insects, and bark. Ideal food for an African gray in captivity is a superior quality, designed pellets supplemented with fruits such as melon, mango, and pomegranate. Also, offer fresh vegetables, including leafy greens such as arugula, kale, sprouts, watercress, and healthy seeds like hemp and flaxseed that will help keep your African gray healthy and thriving. Many grays take delight in a variety of snacks and treats, such as nuts and healthy table foods such as salad, steamed green beans, and breakfast toast. Provide your bird with a half cup of pellet-based parrot mix and a cup of fruits and vegetables regularly and adapt the quantity as per their appetite. Eliminate and reject all uneaten fresh food by the end of each day. Common health problems associated with African grays can be predisposed to vitamin A and vitamin D deficiency, calcium deficiency, feather picking, feather illness, respiratory infection, psittacosis, and cetacine beak. Vitamin deficiencies can be controlled by ensuring your bird eats a wide range of fruits, as well as vegetables high in beta-carotene, such as carrot, kale, and freshly cooked sweet potato. Feather picking is generally the manifestation of a bored bird that is not receiving enough exercise, attention, or mental stimulation.
Exercise required for African gray bird health. Sufficient amounts of activity are crucial in order to maintain the health of a gray parrot. Pet gray parrots must be allowed to spend at least 1 to 2 hours out of their cages with extraneous exercise and ensure to offer them with enough bird-safe chew toys to enable them to exercise their mighty beaks. Pros of African gray bird health. Social. Friendly, though not like being cuddled. Wise. Can understand and speak hundreds of words, phrases, and sound. Cons of African gray bird health. Needs ample attention and mental stimulation. Disposed to be one-person birds, not the prominent family pet. Where to buy an African gray parrot? Gray parrots can be bought from a local breeder and see if you can meet with them, see firsthand and how these birds interact in a home environment. Natural habitat of African gray parrot. The Timna African gray, TAG, is smaller than the more well-liked Congo African gray, CAG. It consists of darker gray, nearly black, with a horn-colored beak, and its tail manifests color from maroon to dark gray or black. African gray parrots usually inhabit savannas, woodland, coastal mangroves, and peripheries of forest clearings in their Central and West Africa range. Though the bigger of the African gray subspecies is known as the Congo African gray, this bird really has a much wider natural range in Africa, including Kenya, Tanzania, and southeastern Ivory Coast. The tag is found in a smaller area beside the western edge of the Ivory Coast and across southern Guinea.